Now, in the US, the work on formative assessment is often associated with the idea of professional learning communities. And many people use the term in different ways. Some people have talked about it as being an inclusive group of professionals working together to solve problems around education. And most of the definitions are actually quite vague. So I think it's important to be very clear about what it is that professional learning communities are about. And I think the two most common versions are the instructional data teams that people like Richard Dufour have advocated, where teachers focus on student data to make sure that students are making the required progress, and the work that I particularly have been associated with, which is in terms of improving teachers' capability. And what I want to stress is that these two are complementary processes. The idea of instructional data teams who routinely monitor data on student achievement, making sure that students are not slipping through the net, is absolutely crucial. As Richard Dufour says, don't tell me you believe all students can achieve. Tell me what you do when they don't. And in far too many schools, students are slipping through the cracks, and we're just not aware of the fact that they're not learning what they need to be learning to stay on grade level. So this process of making sure that we have common assessments, that we're all on the same page, that we're making sure that our students are learning the material they need to be learning, and if they're not, we do something about it, is absolutely essential to effective education in America. But the problem with that process is that if that's all you do, then next year you'll still be solving the same problems that you were solving this year. Because the teachers you've got are no better than they were, and the problems you've got will still remain. So what I'm suggesting is, as well as this very important process of instructional data teams engage in addition, you need something else, something that actually makes the teachers you've got better. And so in particular, I think we need to get teachers focusing on improving their pedagogical skills with regard to classroom formative assessment. And as I keep on stressing, these two processes are complementary. So many schools have organized one period a week, 35 minutes up to an hour, maybe even 2 hours, either by an early dismissal or a late start, where teachers get to work together as professional learning communities. And if you have one of those meetings per week, then I think 3 meetings per month should be focused on instructional data teams. Teachers working in grade-based teams, looking at data from their students and solving problems around issues that emerge. But in addition to that, what I'm suggesting is for just one period per month, teachers meet in cross-grade teams to focus on how they might improve their pedagogical practice. In what we call teacher learning communities, groups composed of teachers giving mutual support for other teachers trying to improve their own classroom practice in the same way. And so you can think of the instructional data teams as a kind of quality control process, where the idea is making sure that students are learning what they're meant to be learning. In contrast, the idea of teacher learning communities is it's a quality assurance process. It's enhancing the quality so that next year fewer students are falling behind because they receive better quality instruction. In the instructional data teams model, the focus is on data. You have to have teachers bringing data along to the meetings, and they examine the data. In the teacher learning communities model, the focus is on teachers learning. Teachers bring along examples from their own practice. And what the research shows is that both processes actually contribute to student achievement. The instructional data teams, as the work of Goldenberg and others at Stanford has shown, gets you about 16 extra points on PISA. And the work that we've done on teacher learning communities focusing on classroom formative assessment gets you about 30 points on PISA. And because these two things are complementary, we can actually have both. What this research shows is that we consistently invest in improving the quality of classroom and formative assessment and maintain our work on instructional data teams, we could overtake Finland, because we could actually improve student achievement by about 50 points on PISA. It would be the fastest improvement ever made by any country, and it's just by focusing on, are the students learning, and if they're not learning, what are we going to do about it?